Allegheny Journal has found Daniel Hamm with the Virginia College Advising Corps, and Daniel's got a new position here at Covington High School. And Daniel, you're helping mainly juniors and seniors consider their future. So what can you tell the public, what do you do? What do you see as your prime focus?
My prime focus is to ensure that high school students have the opportunity to reach their goals, especially if it pertains to college. They're looking at so many different colleges, they don't know where that process begins, what to think about as they're going through that college process. They don't know deadlines, or they don't know what the requirements are. It's my job to kind of fill them in on the gaps, make sure they know everything they need to in order to move forward through that process.
And there's a lot to it, isn't there, Daniel? I mean, apparently they need to get ready for the ACTs and the SATs. Then there's application process with colleges. You deal with all of that?
Yes, I deal with the test prep, test registration, college applications, financial aid, any recommendation letters they may need. I'll look over essays they may need to write for college applications. So there's a lot to think about, and each college is a little different, but for the most part, it's all about the same. They're going to need to know a lot moving forward.
And is part of the application process interviews with various colleges, or is that old hat? Is your interviewer just an old guy?
I guess it really depends. Not too much interviewing going on. As they read your application and maybe the essays that you've written, they're going to get to know pretty much what they want to know about you in order to either decide whether you're going to be a student there or not. So not too much personal face-to-face interview or anything. So
okay, if I'm a Covington High School student, how do I go about having a session with you? Do you show up in one of my classes one day, or do I call the guidance office and make an appointment? How's that work?
So I went around to a few classes, introduced myself. I had a PowerPoint, just kind of talk about who I am, why I'm here, what I can help the students with. I visited senior classes. I will soon visit junior classes, and then so on down the line. But after I do that introduction, it's up to them. They could either come to me and be like, hey, do you have a minute? Can I talk to you about this? Can I register for a test? Or I can pull them from class and be like, hey, what are your plans after high school? Are you going to college? Are you going to work? Are you going to military? Just kind of get a feel for each student, what their plans are moving forward, and help them any way I can.
So you do more than just advise them on how to move forward with college. You may even help them getting into the military or an additional technical training?
If that's their plan, yes. Anything to help make that student's future as successful as possible. I'm not going to force anyone to go to college. That's not why we're here. We're just trying to get them to go to college, or at least think about that possibility.
Well, there's a lot to it, apparently. It seems to me in the old days when we were a freshman and a sophomore, we started getting a big amount of anxiety about doing well on the ACT and the SAT. Is that still the case?
I think so. A lot of students are still getting really nervous about that test and some of the outcomes that are possible. So I feel like there's a certain level of anxiety that comes with both of those tests and just getting into college in general. So it definitely hasn't changed in that standpoint.
Well, this is really a cool idea, and Daniel's part of a 2-year program, as I understand it, here at Covington High School. Daniel, in addition to helping the guidance office, I think the rumor is that half of the students may want to come by and learn more about football at UVA. You had a pretty cool career there, so how do you make the transition between a football player and your education at UVA, and why did you decide to get into the guidance arena?
It's kind of a long story. As I finished my football career, I was kind of nervous about this change from football to the professional world. But as I found myself with the Virginia College Advising Corps, it was really just going from one team to the next. We're all on the same accord with Virginia College Advising Corps and College Advising Corps in general, spread out throughout the nation. And we're a team trying to get students to go to college and trying to better everyone's future. So when I look at it that way, it's not too much of an adjustment at all. It's a little different. I'm here sitting behind a desk at 8 o'clock in the morning as opposed to running plays, but it's not bad at all. I'm enjoying what I do.
Well, it's a fairly big organization then, huh? How many people are involved in this advising operation?
I think there are more than 600 college advisors around the nation in various states. Not in every state yet, but the program began in 2005, so it's still fairly new. It started in Virginia, so it's it's growing fast.
Well, probably part of the reason why you're enjoying this aspect of life is at one point you probably thought you could have used some of that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Just going back to my high school experience and like what I feel like I could have used, it kind of guides me to what I should be telling some students. Because I wish I had gotten a little more information coming out of high school. Because if it wasn't for the coach that recruited me, I probably wouldn't have known when the deadline was to apply for the college, or what I needed to do with financial aid, or some key components to getting to the next stage in my education came from the coach that recruited me. So just having a college advisor would have been nice, someone to push you and tell you everything you need to know about the next step.
Well, you grabbed my next question. You beat me to it. I was going to say, now that you're in the guidance arena, something must have attracted you to UVA, and it sounds like you were recruited. That's really nice. I was going to ask you, what attracted you to UVA?
Really, I wanted to run track. The track coach that recruited me, and he actually helped me, along with that, get recruited by the football team as well. So having the opportunity to play 2 sports at UVA is such a great college.
You did the 40 fast, apparently.
I'm not the fastest guy out there, so. But yeah, just having the education of University of Virginia, plus having the opportunity to run track and play football, it was really something I couldn't pass up. So.
Well, thanks very much for taking the time to join us.
Of course, thank you. I appreciate it.